How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggy With It. I'm Will, and today we're opening up the last hero pack from the... I'm completely lost. This is the hero pack that we played when we played the Rise of the Red Skull 4 Extra Life tabletop game charity. But yeah, this was the only character we kept throughout that campaign. Of course, campaign, you're supposed to keep the same decks. We've already opened up all the other decks. You can go watch them. If you want to see how those decks work, you can watch the gameplay. If you want to just see what the decks are, you can watch those unboxing videos, unpacking videos. These are packs, so I'm unpacking or am I unboxing? Either way, we did keep Captain America in there. Oddly played Captain America. He teamed up with all the Avengers to defeat the Red Skull. This, of course, is a pack from Fantasy Flight Games, living card game for Marvel Champions. There's the back if you want to see the back. We're going to go ahead and get into this pack, which is the last one I have to do. Tongue-tied because I've done 4 other ones before this, and the more you do, the more loco you get. And we don't edit our videos, or I try to not edit the videos. I don't rehearse this. I don't take multiple takes, and then I try, and I don't do that. I think one reason I don't do like a lot of the edits, like I see a lot of other YouTubers, they do edits, and a lot of them are starting to do that little jump edit, which is very annoying and distracting. Like, if you have it in the back, if you're just like listening to them, okay, cool, jump edit's fine. But from a visual perspective, it's just very distracting. And I've seen a lot of YouTubers do it across multiple genres beyond just board games. And I'm seeing a lot in the board games when they're having a casual conversation, like when they're just talking to you about something, throwing a jump break. And it's not like, oh, they throw a jump break because they finished a sentence and now they're breathing. No, it's like they do a jump break whenever there's a 2-second pause. And I've seen even jump breaks in the middle of a sentence just enough to where the words aren't cut off. It's just very jarring. It's not natural. So again, if you guys don't like this, I'm guessing you stopped watching already. If you don't mind the way I do this, then I'm guessing hit the subscribe button, watch more of my content, watch more of our content, me and Audrey. Because even our live gameplays are just that, they're live gameplays, so it's unedited. We don't try to rehearse it either, so we don't pre-play the game and pre-rehearse what we're going to say during the live play either. I don't know if anybody does that for live gameplays, although I'd imagine some people do, right? I imagine they have a script and a skit and what they're going to try to do during the live gameplay. I digress, guys. Let's get into Steve Rogers here. Steve Rogers, Captain America, recovery of 3, 11 and 6. 6 is about normal for your hand size. He is the living legend, so of course you get to reduce the cost of the first ally played each round while you're in Steve Rogers form. So you kind of want to get this out first round, right? Because you don't want to be flipping back and forth if you don't have to. But during setup, you get to search for Cap's shield. Of course, that is done after you've done your normal hand. So you do have the possibility of having a 7-card hand. Fortunately, if the shield's already in your hand, nothing you can do about that. You already have the shield. Switching over to Captain America, he is a 2-2-2. It's just a run-of-the-mill. That's about average. Nothing's 3, nothing's 1, so that's good. He can do this all day long. I don't remember him ever saying that in the comics. I mean, maybe he did, but I think that got popular because of the first Avenger, and then, of course, in Civil War. Action, you discard 1 card from your hand. Ready, Captain America. So basically, you get a free ready. Audrey made very good use of this because she always defended with Captain America because she could always ready back up on her following turn. May not be the best play in all scenarios. Maybe if you're playing expert, that might not be when you'd want to do it. But for us, it worked out very well. And of course, your hand size does go down by 1. The first member is Sharon Carter, which is Peggy Carter's daughter, known as Agent 13. So you get 2 thwart and 1 attack. After Agent 13 enters play, you get to remove 2 threat. So it's one of the methods to get rid of threat. A freebie here, Captain America gets +1 thwart to the end of the turn, and you get to draw 1 card, so it's just an extra draw mechanic. Heroic Strike. Hero deals 6 damage to an enemy if you paid using a fighting. You also get stun. Always good if you can stun the enemy. Prevent that damage from coming into you. Another 0, another freebie for Cap. Defense. When you would take any amount of damage, you get to exhaust Cap's shield. Prevent all of that damage. The only disadvantage, of course, is you're exhausting that during the villain phase, meaning you're not going to have it ready once it comes time to actually attack, meaning some of these other cards we're going to get into won't be usable during that hero phase. particularly shield toss. Another, again, freebie because you have your shield out, where you can discard X number of cards from your hand, then return Captain America's shield and do 4 damage to X number of enemies. So you saw like the Wasp where it was like ping, 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 bouncing around. Same thing here. I think he throws his shield all thematic-like, right? And it's just bouncing off of each of the enemies, whacking them in the head. That is what shield toss does. So a lot of these draw mechanics that we saw comes in handy here, right? Because the more cards you can draw up to, the better chance that they're cards you're not going to want, and you're willing to discard them to knock out a couple minions. Real good again, Ultron. We haven't played Ultron yet, but I've heard Ultron, tons of minions on the field with his drones at certain points. So Steve's apartment is 1. You exhaust Steve when you're in Alter Ego. You get to draw a card and heal. Always good to get some additional healing action. Upgrade of 1. Captain America would be defeated, set his hit point to 1 instead. This I think would have been, so it's Captain America's helmet. Cool, get that. I think this should have been, I can do this all day. Like, I think this would have made more sense. I get the refresh fits it as well, but this would have been funny if that was, I can do this all day. And instead of, you know, of course, the graphic wouldn't be his helmet, it would be like a beaten up without the helmet Captain America. Now, see, I'm thinking of the movies. Like, I've read the comics, but now I'm thinking of the movies, you know, when he did it to Tony, right? I can do this all day. 1, there's his shield, so this is what you're going to search out. Basically, while you have it, Captain America gets +1 defense and he gets Retaliate. Very nice to have that Retaliate. Came in handy a couple times when we were playing against villains that had a tough status, because the villain would attack and then the Retaliate would just take the defense off, because Retaliate says any damage. Well, Retaliate is damage. Upgrade of 2 Super Soldier Serum. Resolved, and then you generate a fighting resource for your turn. And then I just threw Falcon. Falcon just flew off the table. Hang on, I'll get him. He's down there somewhere. Where are you at, Falcon? All right. Falcon wanted to fly away. He just flew off the table. Falcon, of course, Sam Wilson. So they did the Sam Wilson with the red, white, and blue, although I don't know if this, yeah, this is his Captain America Falcon. So it's weird that they didn't call him Captain America Sam Wilson, kind of like we did in the Wasp, where Miles Morales Spider-Man was called Miles Morales Spider-Man, although I guess he was called Spider-Man always. He wasn't one that had one name and switched it at a certain point. I don't think. Either way, you get Falcon, 2 and 2, not too bad. After Falcon enters play, look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. For each treachery looked at, remove 1 threat from the scheme. This actually came in handy. I think Oddity was able to pull 2 treachery in one of our games, so she was able to remove 2 threat, and we needed it. Hawkeye 3, 1/1. So this is another one of those cards that now that they have a Hawkeye hero, you wouldn't be able to put in. So if you're going to team up with Hawkeye, since it's not a wild resource, you want to replace this card in your leadership deck with another ally of some sort. In the leadership deck, you want allies. So I'm not saying replace this with a non-ally card. Your best bet's probably allies. He enters play with 4 arrows. Response: after a minion enters play, he removes 1 arrow and he deals 2 damage. So basically, every time a minion comes in, you're just pinging him off, taking some of that hit point down immediately. Squirrel Girl, I'm not sure why she's in Cap's deck. Like, I really don't get her purpose in this deck. But she's another ally, 1/1. Response: after she enters play, you deal 1 damage to an enemy. Wonder Man, Simon Williams, ally 2, 1 and 3, so lots of attacking ability. Only 3 hit points though, but he is cheap, so that's not too bad. As an additional cost for Wonder Man's attack, you may discard 1 card. Oh no, as an additional cost for his attack, you must discard 1 card. So there you go. That is why he's so cheap, because you're going to be losing some of your cards to be able to play him or be able to have him attack during your turn. Avenger symbol 4. Max 1 per round action. Ready each Avenger character you control. What are you focusing on? There's nothing else back there to focus on. Stop focusing on things. Action, ready each Avenger character, and then they do gain +1 for +1 attack. So he's an Avenger. Okay, so luckily all of these are Avenger. There was one character that was not Avenger. I think it's Agent 13. Yeah. So that's an unfortunate, as Agent 13 is not an Avenger, so this card does not work well with this one. But I think all of the other ones you have are fine. But they do get that extra +1 thwart and attack. And my thing is all messed now. Make the call as a freebie. Pay the printed cost of an ally in the, well, I say freebie, but you're going to have to pay the printed cost in the discard pile, and then you can put that ally back into play. That way you don't have to worry about reshuffling your deck to get your allies back. They're going to be able to call your allies back from your discard pile. Strength in number, another freebie, except for let's see what it says. Event, exhaust any number of allies, draw 1 card for each ally. So again, benefit of a leadership deck is you're going to have tons of allies out there, right? You're going to keep increasing allies with one of the cards that's in here. We haven't gotten to it yet. That allows you to have more allies. So that's going to give you a lot more draw action, which again comes in good. Wonder Man needs to use the discard pile. Discard pile is what I'm thinking of. Discard cards, which is weird because you're discarding. Never mind. But you got a lot of discarding going on, so that is very helpful. Power leadership. So of course you get these, which is your double leadership card. Quinjet. After you begin your turn, place Quinjet. Put it under an Avenger ally. From your hand into, or put an Avenger ally from your hand into play with the printed cost equal to or less than the number of time counters on the Quinjet. So basically, at the beginning of your turn, you're just going to keep adding counters to the Quinjet, which could almost make a lot of your allies free to play. All right. So Mockingbird, Bobby Moore of S.H.I.E.L.D. So again, she's another one that's in this deck without the Avenger trait, which is unfortunate. 1/1, so she's not a lot. But after she enters play, you get to add a stun. So you kind of weigh that advantage. Are you going to use her for an attack? No, I want to get the stun out, and then I'm going to use her for defense. Your double energy, double genius, double strength. Avengers Tower, Avengers location. If each of your allies has the Avenger trait, increase your ally limit by 1. So this one is kind of, I misread this originally. I thought it was each of them get the Avengers trait. And you get to increase 1 by 1? No, this means that the 2 S.H.I.E.L.D. agents in here cannot be out there to increase by 1. So if you were to have 3 Avengers out, right, or you have 2 Avengers out, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. If you have 3 Avengers out, right, and then you want to, and you have this in play, you can't put out one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents as the 4th one. Because it says each of your allies. Well, hang on. So if each of my allies, so now each of my allies wouldn't have Avenger. Yeah, I think you would lose this. You have to go out to Hall of Heroes to double check. I guarantee you this has been asked about. But to me, as soon as you put out a non-Avenger character, it breaks that. So that's unfortunate. You can exhaust Avengers Tower to reduce the cost of the next Avenger ally played by 1. So here we go. This is how you fix that. Figured it out. This is how you fix that. So Honorary Avenger is a freebie. Play only if you have Avenger, which Captain America is. But basically, you can add 1 hit and they gain the Avenger trait. So I thought there was a way to add the Avenger. It's just I wasn't playing this deck. Obviously, was. She would have told me, "Will, there's a way to do it." And I'd have been like, "Is there?" She'd have been like, "Yes." And I'd be like, "How?" And she'd been like, "Honorary Avenger." And I'd be like, "Oh, okay." That reminded me of the Ant-Man movie. That's my favorite part of the movie when he's trying to explain. Ant-Man's buddy is trying to explain the story. But this gives them that. Now, one thing I mentioned on the Wasp, of course, these are the champions, which is weird that Falcon is in there. I don't know, maybe Falcon created the champions. I haven't gotten to that part. But then it has regular Vision, not his daughter. So maybe, and it's got Mighty Thor. So no, this was the New Avengers run. Right after Captain America got old, they built the New Avengers. It included the 3 youngsters. And then, of course, after that team dismantled, they formed the champions along with the new Wasp, the new Hulk, which is Amadeus Cho, Vision's daughter, and there's somebody else that I'm not thinking of. But yeah, so I digress. But there you go. That's how you get that Avenger trait to not break that card. They do give you 3 of those, and it's not limited, right? So obligation, man out of time. So you got Peggy Carter here. You may flip to alter ego form. If you do, then this is the only time you'll be able to do this, which is basically exhaust, and you're removed from the game. You can, of course, on your follow-up turn, flip back over to Captain America, discard a card, ready back up. So not too harmful for him. The other option is discard half the cards in your hand, rounded down to discard the obligation. So if you don't exhaust, you have the possibility of the obligation come back up, but that's if you make it through the encounter deck. Hit squad. So this is the side scheme for your nemesis, Baron Zemo. In player order, each player discards a top card of the encounter deck and takes 1 damage for each boost icon. Wow. And then this, of course, does increase the threat. And then we have here, which is a 3 to start with to remove this. Baron Zemo, 1 scheme, 3 attack. He does have quick strike, meaning as soon as he comes into play with Captain America, he's immediately going to attack him. When Baron Zemo gets engaged with you, you cannot thwart. So your thwarting action has been removed. Which Cap really isn't a thwarter, right? He's a defender, he's an attacker, he brings his allies up. So I don't see that as much of a problem. Minion 1/2 for the Hydra soldier, guard. While this minion is engaged with you, you cannot attack the villain. When defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card. Now, of course, these can be harmful. There's a couple decks that have Hydra soldiers as their actual minions in the hero deck. And then there is a couple of the campaigns, and I don't remember which one specifically, in the Red Skull, where one of the side schemes says once this is defeated, you need to actually find the Hydra soldier, a Hydra person, a Hydra thing, Hydra minion, there we go, Hydra minion, and engage it with you. Now, we did mess up in our gameplay. We forgot to do that engagement. I don't think it would have impacted the overall game. It would have increased it 1 more turn because we would have had to defeat the minions. But yeah, so this could actually be a bad thing when playing against one of those Hydra decks. And I can't remember which one it was. I can't remember if it was Hydra Patrol. I think it was Hydra Patrol, that particular modular set. Hail Hydra with their helmets on. Ring revealed, each Hydra minion engaged with you attacks the hero. Each player who is not attacked this way searches the encounter deck for a Hydra minion, puts it in, and then you shuffle. So basically, this is another way. You're going to bring in Hydra minions. So if you're playing Hydra Patrol or Hydra Assault or Hydra Legion, I forget, I think it's something, whatever, in the base core box, this isn't very fun, right? There we go. So that is the rest of his Nemesis deck. Now, stop. This is the additional cards that they've added into Captain America's deck. Again, these are if you wanted to switch into aggression or leadership or protection, or you just want to add these into one of your existing decks because it might be a better card. So this is another way that Fantasy Flight Games balances the older decks. So a lot of people, you know, when you buy a deck, you're like, oh, I'm stuck with this deck, it gets old. That's the benefit of deck building. As better, newer cards come out, you can actually switch them in and out, make those decks a little bit better than what they were. Hulk is a good example of a deck that most people don't like, but he's getting better with some of the new cards that you can add to him and by changing his aspect. There's 1 or 2 other ones that were kind of like, people weren't really happy with the decks. If you want to learn more about deck building and all that stuff, I know there's a Facebook group. I'm not on the Facebook group. I should probably follow that, but I know BGG, that's where I get most of my information. I just read through the forums. People post questions. I read them, so that way I can learn more. But let's get into these cards. Aggression, upgrade of 1, Enraged. Basically, attached to an ally, max 1 per ally. They get +2 attack, but they take a consequential damage and 1 more consequential damage after the attack. So most of them already take 1, so now you're taking 2. So it's like, yeah, I get that extra attack, but I'm going to be taking a little bit extra damage. Kind of only want to put that on somebody who's got a little bit of HP, and I was putting that in the wrong pile. The Justice upgrade, good old Daredevil again. Again, we're hoping Daredevil comes in as the street level here soon. Attached to a side scheme, max 1 per scheme. Response, when attached scheme is defeated, deal 4 damage to the enemy. Again, I did it again. Here, we'll put these here so we can put them on top of the right spot. How about we do that? How about we do that? So there we go. 0 expert defense. Hero interrupt. When your hero defends an attack, it gets +3 defense for that attack. So that's pretty good. Especially the way Audrey is playing, right, where she was defending every turn. This would have just given her 3 more defense. So it would have taken Cap up to what, 6? Because yeah, he's got 2 plus the 1 from his shield, so 6. And then the last one is Enhanced Awareness. We got the Vision here for 2. Uses 3 mental counters. Hero resource, exhausts Enhanced Awareness to remove 1 of the counters and generate a resource. So uses 3 mental counters. That's weird that it says uses 3 mental counters. To me, it should say place the 3 mental counters there, but okay. But yeah, you get 3 of those. So good in any deck that, you know, not to say requires, but works with the, you know, science resources as a method, right? So there we go. That is Captain America, the first Avenger. If you want to see his gameplay, like I said, we did play him throughout the entire Red Skull campaign. There are 2 videos up for that when we were supporting Extra Life Tabletop, which of course supports Extra Life charities. You can always donate to that down below. We always have that link down below. Children really need our help, so we appreciate every donation we've gotten this year. If you want to see more content, make sure you hit the subscribe, bell notification, hit the thumbs up, and leave a comment. YouTube likes that kind of stuff somehow. And we like to chat with you, right? We don't get a lot of comments. We would like some more comments. So comment down below anything you want. Maybe what champion you want to see us play next, or what hero you want to see us play next. But until next time, guys, peace.